We live in the era of information, when everybody is connected to the internet 24/7, on their phones, on their computers.
It's easy sometimes to take it for granted we're used to it. It's sometimes hard to realize these things are there. A refrigerator or microwave in our kitchen, our LED television, the light in our house, everything is just there for us all the time.
We don't even see it anymore. We only notice that it's there when it's gone. You power outage and then you notice because nothing seems to work without it.
We're obviously talking about electrical power. Without it, food goes bad in the refrigerator, your phone doesn't charge, the AC unit doesn't work.
Electric power is everything. I cannot think of an industry that could live without it today. Without it, the whole economy of the world would collapse.
Producing electricity is one of the most important tasks in the world. There are many kinds of power plants, but today we are going to talk about combined cycle power plants. Have you heard about them?
Combined cycle power plants, or CCCP for short, are more efficient because they combine different methods together. On the first stage, the plant burns fuel, and that makes the turbine spin, producing electricity and also creating a lot of heat.
Typical fuel plants let that heat escape, but CCPP uses that residual heat as the source input for stage 2. They boil water and use the steam to make a second turbine spin, inducing even more electricity, releasing water vapor into the atmosphere.
It's a masterpiece of engineering in our time, capable of delivering typically from 100 up to 1000 megawatts per hour, depending on the number of combustion turbines, steam turbines, and other optimized heat recovery systems.
CCCPs are also affected by weather factors, such as ambient temperature, atmospheric pressure, relative humidity, and all these factors have a direct influence on the energy output of the plant. And that translates into gains or losses for the investors and ultimately the final user, all of us.
Can you imagine if we could know in advance the energy output of these power plants based on the atmospheric conditions? What if we could input the information on weather forecasts to accurately predict the efficiency of the CCPP?
Imagine the impact of such forecasts to the demand. The general public, as well as the companies, could prepare in advance for their energy needs and make decisions to effectively plan their upcoming energy. I am Maniket Perma.
I am Israel Romeo.
I'm Darren Verduzco, and together we'll show you a model we built to effectively predict the output of a combined cycle power plant with more than 94% match.
The first task is always to understand the data available. We observed data collected in a CCCP for over 6 years, from 2006 to 2011, and identified the variables being captured: ambient temperature, atmospheric pressure, relative humidity, and exhaust vacuum, a very particular measurement that represents the pressure condition at the exhaust of a steam turbine.
All these variables have been identified to affect the energy output of the plant. So the engineers have placed hundreds of sensors throughout key locations within the facility. We took those variables and analyzed their correlations, meaning how each one affects output value.
Outliers are very extreme measurements in the data that can skew the results, so we identified and removed them from the analysis. Then we found that ambient temperature appears to be the main driver for the energy output, but it has an inverse correlation, meaning the higher the temperature gets, the lower the energy output the plant can produce. Roughly, for every degree Celsius the temperature goes up, the output energy of the plant goes down by 2 megawatts.
The rest of the variables have a lower but not insignificant effect on the power output. We noticed that the match of the predictions increases a few extra points when including all variables.
In our analysis, we tried 9 models, but in this presentation, we'll focus only in the 2 best predictive models we found: linear regressions and random forest regression.
The linear regression model can predict the energy output with up to 94% match. It is a very simple and reliable model that can be implemented without expensive computational resources. Therefore, no need for expensive hardware to perform the predictions at the expense of a lower prediction match.
With the random forest regressor model, our prediction can go up to 97% match. While every point counts, it's important to notice that random forest regressor models do require extensive computational resources. Therefore, it needs a larger investment of hardware. So it may only be worthwhile for plants in extreme weather conditions. To validate the accuracy of the models, we use several statistical tests as key indicators, such as p-values under 0.05, which is a standard statistical significance indicator worldwide. We also looked at the mean squared error, which basically measures how far the predicted results are from the real ones.
We also looked at the residual analysis to identify potential biases or misfits, variance inflation factor, VIF, and mean absolute error, MAE, to ensure the magnitude of the prediction errors are minimal.
Lastly, we compared our results with the peer-reviewed journal from other researchers on the same dataset, which helped us validate our findings.
To begin with, the power plant itself can benefit from this model by simply adjusting plant operations in real time based on the input from the sensors, optimizing parameters like fuel storage, turbine loads, and cooling system operations to maximize efficiency output.
Another possible application is energy demand forecasting. With an accurate forecast, energy companies can better plan and predict energy supply and demand. And with that, they can plan a better distribution, minimize overproduction or shortfalls, and can ensure reliable energy for everyone.
Preventive maintenance scheduling would be possible with this model. The plant can detect potential operation stresses or inefficiencies, indicating the potential need for maintenance, extending the operational life of the equipment and preventing outages.
For all of us users of the electrical network, predicting the power output may allow us to have better financial planning as well as better control the demand on peak hours when the forecast predicts higher pricing.
Since 1882, when Edison opened the first public power plant in Lower Manhattan, New York City, electricity has become part of our daily lives and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So, in the era of information, artificial intelligence and predictive models like ours are already providing insights to a lot of different industries, including the energy industry.
Artificial intelligence is becoming the driver of the economy. And it's a proven fact in the history that the pioneers and visionaries who invest first tend to not only get higher profit reward, but get to make the rules of the game.
All information about the future has an error. 94 to 97% of a match is certainly a great level of confidence that will provide a reliable source of information for many practical applications, showing a clear path to profitability and return on investment.
They say that the best way to predict the future is to invent it. And I couldn't agree more. Investing in our project means investing in more research to build similar projects to this one, in which you can also be a part of in the future. This is the future. The future is here. Let's invent it together. The possibilities are endless.